everyone. Each one of you is a VIP of the true crime scene.
All the best horror takes place in isolation. Evil Dead, Cabin in the Woods, The Shining.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down episode 8 of Hell Motel, the final episode. Before we jump in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the other shows I am covering. Recently, I am covering The Institute that comes on every Sunday. I do a deep dive for that. Links are in the description below. In the last episode, I posted a community poll asking who do you think is the third killer. The results are in. 73% of you said Paige and 27% guessed Andy. Let's get into it. Paige is back on set filming a scene with the masked killer, and yeah, she's acting like a little bit of a diva, but after everything she's been through, who can blame her? She's fighting for control, for respect, and for her moment. At first I was like, girl, you is overreacting, but actually thinking about it, I understand why she is fighting the good fight, because one, she wants to be respected in the industry, and two, I like how she was very demanding when she said, hey, do you think I would say something like this? Can you change the writing? So I kind of get that she don't want to be in a certain narrative where certain things just didn't make sense while she was acting in that movie. Meanwhile, Andy is back to teaching. One of his students bring up the final girl trope and classic horror cliches, and Andy totally shuts down. He clearly still bitter about his rejected thesis. It hit a nerve because he straight up shut that girl down. Later, Andy visits Paige's apartment. Their chemistry, that much is obvious, but neither of them fully trusts the other. Andy is still stuck on the motel murders, doesn't believe Shirley and Floyd were behind it. Paige disagrees. When Andy brings up the heart in the attic, Paige denies everything. And sure, he has a right to ask questions, but he crosses a line. The vibe kind of changed a little bit, especially when he asks that particular question. Then Paige invites Andy to her movie premiere. But get this, her character gets killed off screen. Now that is brutal. It feels like she's reliving her deepest fear, being ignored, replaced, and forgotten. She finally got her final girl moment, but just like that, it's gone. And maybe so is her career. When I tell you she went straight off on the director and was like, look, you guys did tell me that y'all was going to kill me off of this screen. Like, what are you guys thinking? But I think they knew that all along. You know, she had her 15 minutes of fame and they decided to go a different direction. So I do understand why she was trying to fight that good fight as far as protecting herself in these type of movies. Later, Paige and Andy watch an old video clip of Catlin, and it turns out she had a child named Andy. I would never guess that Catlin had a child. Let's be honest, when they showed it in the first episode, it was Catlin and I believe her boyfriend or her husband. I just never guessed that, but I knew that Andy was part of it. Andy realized the way his mom was portrayed in those movies wasn't true to who she really was, and now it makes sense why he was so triggered when that student brought up horror tropes. He saw those films as a distortion of his mother's legacy. By the end, neither Paige nor Andy makes it out alive. I like how they did this dialogue between Andy and Paige, especially Paige was like, you are Catlin's son. The way that camera zoomed into his face and he looked so shocked. But you can tell that Andy was so upset the way that he was triggered by his mother. And so Paige was on the spot with that and was like, look, the entire time you was the whole killer. And I wasn't surprised at first, especially regarding the whole situation with the mother and son. But I just felt like he was too reserved. I felt like, especially when he was looking at, Key Wang getting his ass whooped. Yes, I'm going to keep saying that, folks, because 2 against 1, y'all could have been jumping him, y'all could have dragged him, or did something out in that rain in that episode, but Andy was standing there and then waited so late to attack the man behind the mask, which is Floyd, of course. Their final scene is tense, both accusing the other of being the killer. The back and forth was intense and honestly a solid way to close the mystery. I really enjoy the entire season, the mystery, the twists, the characters, especially how the deaths are handled and how the tension built. Every actor brought something unique and the writing kept us guessing. I like how they did the backstory of all the characters. They fleshed out all the characters regarding the trauma, regarding the psychological thoughts, along with what they had been through, which was definitely scary to me, especially Blake and Andrea. They kind of been through it a little bit worse regarding what happened to them, but you would never guess that especially Andy was the killer. Now people thought Paige was the killer as well, and I'm not gonna lie, like I said, I kind of side-eyed her on certain things, especially when she kept finding those bodies and she was the first one, and then I felt like she was acting shocked and surprised and, you know, fake crying and things like that. So I kind of side-eyed her a little bit. So I get it why some people thought that it was 100% Paige, especially her motive. But at the same time, I was like, my money is on Andy 100%. Fingers crossed we get a season 2 with new characters, new setting, and new nightmare. I love TV series like this, especially like a whodunit type of feel. And also, I want to thank everyone for all the likes and comments. I had so much fun chatting with you about the series, you know, especially you guys is giving me the theories of what y'all think and so forth. And someone said it that, hell, it may not be Andy or Paige. It's probably someone else that we may not know. And I thought about it. I was like, that is a good theory. You know, I never thought about that. But I really appreciate you guys' engagement. I really appreciate you guys regarding, you know, just providing your thoughts regarding the season overall. And how do you feel about the season, by the way? I enjoy 100%. It is something that I don't mind watching over again. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear your theories about this last episode. Did you guys get what you wanted as far as Andy being the killer? Do you feel disappointed, or did you wish that Paige was the killer? I would love to hear your thoughts about that as well. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's next. Until then, see you later.